which who knows when will happen. But I am not in the hate Star Citizen camp. I've been a backer since Kickstarter. Happy to just follow along whenever they decide that they're going to release. Vicky says, I love Dragonlance. I also love Dragonlance. It's a lot of fun. I like Dragonlance more than Forgotten Realms, but I do love both. Perhaps the daddle will answer. Merely these blueprints for living glass and a beacon. What the heck is living glass? And if guide says, in No Man's Sky, have you talked to other pilots in the space station? I have, to find out you can offer to buy the chip. Yep. Perhaps the beacon may be of use. Construct one and the convergence may find me again. Alright, so that's all well and good, but we need to go to the base computer archives because this person has stuff that I need, which was off planet. Wait, do I need to interact with my base computer? Or is it the one on that other planet? Yep, that was somewhere else. Okay. How am I doing on fuel? I should probably make some more Starship fuel. What is this? Salvaged glass. Sentinel exosuit fragment. What is that? Life support tanks plus 5, core health plus 33%, sprint distance 31%. That's a huge bonus. That's cool. Alright, don't get sidetracked. We need to make some Starship fuel. Which means I need metal plating. We'll hold on to that for later. Yeah, there are a lot of Dragonlance books. There's a lot of Forgotten Realms books too, but I've always been particular to the Dragonlance world more than the Forgotten Realms world. But if you really want to get into either or, I would say Ed Greenwood is a lot more active on social media than Weiss and Hickman are in terms of fulfilling people's deep, dark, questions, answering their questions about Forgotten Realms. Like, Ed Greenwood is he's got his own YouTube channel, he's on TikTok, he's everywhere, and he does tons of deep dives into Forgotten Realms lore, and it's a very unique relationship that he has with Wizards of the Coast in regards to, they own Forgotten Realms, but he is still allowed to create within that world and work within that world, even though he's sold the rights to it. He still has, he kept on to that, and he keeps doing some really cool stuff with Forgotten Realms. Whereas Dragonlance was kind of left to the wayside for many, many years, but Weiss and Hickman did come back and write a recent trilogy of books, and they're out there promoting some new stuff. They have a new steampunk world they just created too. I think that either went to Kickstarter or is a separate project they're working on. But there are a lot of Dragonlance books, and they're a lot of fun to read. Yeah, it sucked that Joe was working on that Dragonlance show, and then it got shelved. It was unfortunate. I'm sad about that, because a live-action Dragonlance would have been badass. 'Tis what it is. shit, I don't know which one of these planets I needed to go to. Does it matter? It's got to be this one. Because it's also leading me to the other one. I probably had a space station here that I could have traveled to and not wasted warp fuel. Oops. But I don't remember where I need to go, so it's not that big of a deal. Goodspeed says, how long have you been a full-time streamer, and can you give out some tips, some top tips? A little over 2.5 years full-time. Tips. The biggest tip I can give is if you're going to do this, you have to be willing to work 16 hours a day for less than minimum wage and be prepared to spend several years grinding for absolutely no money. And you're either going to need a job, a supportive spouse or significant other, or some sort of a nest egg saved up, because you are not going to make money at first. It's going to be 3 years probably realistically before you start to make enough money to live off of. And many people, I would say 99% of people, cannot make it past the 3-year mark because they burn out, they give up, they can't do it, they run out, they want to make money quick, they want to become famous, all this other stuff. And number 2 is you have to be entertaining. You can't just sit here and stare at the screen. You have to talk. You have to. Someone said the other day, oh, great. So they were watching one of my streams. They were, oh, great. Another streamer who narrates everything that's happening while it's happening. And I went, you're goddamn right, because that's how I make a living. And I would much rather do this than what I used to do. So I never finished high school. I never went to college. I worked construction as a 3rd-generation ceramic tile and natural stone contractor for 20 years. I also grew up on a dairy farm, which is now a cattle ranch. If I can become a video game streamer, anyone can become a video game streamer. But it requires a lot of hard work, and you have to be willing to put in those 16-hour days for 3-4 years. Hopefully not for 4 years, but at least 2 to 3 years, making no money to get to the point where you can make some money. And even then, you're probably not going to be making more than a minimum wage for a very long time. You don't get to start making the big bucks like Co-Carnage and Asmongold, etc. until you've been doing this 7, 8, 9, sometimes 10 years. So if you have any ideas in your head about somehow making it big and making tens of thousands of dollars being a streamer, the reality is that's probably not going to happen. But if you're willing to sit down and put the time in, it is a long, slow grind. 1 year ago on July 14th, I just had gotten to 10,000 subscribers 1 year ago. And I went from 700 to 10,000 over the course of about a year and a half. So it took me a couple of years to get to 700, and then from 700 to 10,000 went much more quickly. And then 10,000 to 30,000, which went even more quickly. So it's just hours, man. It's literally being able to put in the hours and spend the time doing it. If you can do that, there's no tip that I can give you other than you have to be able to put in the time and not burn out, have realistic goals, don't expect to get rich. The snowball effect, says Grade 8. Essentially, yeah, I mean, there's also peaks and valleys. Like, you'll have a month, 2 months, maybe 3 months where you don't have a ton of traffic, and then suddenly you get something that pops off. And unless you're, trying to push an OnlyFans account, it's a long, slow process of just... Asmongold has some really good videos about it. Co-Carnage has some great videos about it. Just the grind. And you can't stop. It's 16-hour days, day in, day out. You don't get to be sick. You don't get to take off. You don't get to have mental health days. You don't get to have, oh, I don't feel good. Too bad. Woo, we almost crashed into the world here through that fog layer. This is probably leading me to a different place that I need to go, because there was definitely another... I bet it's this structure right here. There was another planet we needed to go to that we were at yesterday, and I feel like this is not that place. Daniel Russian says that's what happened to me. The burnout got to me. Hey, it's a real thing. It affects a lot of people. Goodspeed says I have a full-time job. I just applied for part-time job on the weekends, starting to stream when I can. That's where you need to start. Take your spare time. When Chris and I used to do consultations, and I used to do public speaking as a full-time gig. One of the number one things we would always tell people for brand building, which I got from Gary Vaynerchuk, got from Gary V, which is there are 24 hours in the day. Your day job only takes up 8. Maybe your transport to and from work takes up another 2. There's 10 hours a day. Time with the wife and kids, husband and kids, whatever, significant other. Give another 4 hours there. You're up to like 14, 15 hours. You need a few hours of sleep every night, say 6 hours. You know, you can find 6 to 8 hours a day, every day, to work on whatever is your passion project. Whether that's hobby painting, streaming, video games, guitar, modeling, acting, whatever. I think Pirate Software talks a lot about this too. Whatever is your day job, just think of that as like that's the fuel that you need. That's the resource that you need, which is money, to fund what it is that you really want to do. And if you can view your job as nothing more than that fuel source, and you just turn your brain off, do the stupid job that you have to take to get the money you need to pay for your life, and then use that to fund whatever it is that you really want to do. And if you work hard at it, and you're willing to dedicate the time and effort to it, you can make the thing that you want to do become your day job. But it does take time. It's not instantaneous. It will never be instantaneous. The people who get it instantaneously, like the Hawk Tui girl, that's pure fucking luck. That is pure, absolute luck. And that's the random person who wins the lottery. It's never going to happen. Think of it that way. If you think about it like it's never going to happen and you just focus on the grind, that will happen. Otherwise, you know, if you're waiting on your moment to be famous, that's a lesson in futility. Something just dropped down from the ceiling and tried to eat me, I think. Okay, hazardous flora detected. What the fuck is eating me? Oh, there it is. You know what? I have a gun now. Did it not kill you? It's dropped down twice to eat me. Remote active herms waiting my input. Access the memory. We see the sentinels swarm across the void, warping in and out of this dimension at the will of some unknown force, depositing the echoes of the dead within the archives. Laylaps does not join the others. It just stares at me, its light still shining, unaltered, unabated. It is a comfort to me. I searched the physical cache attached to this terminal. Whoever recorded the message also left a piece of tech. I got a bolt caster module. I don't have any more. More analysis. Let's go ahead and install that. Vacuum supercharger. Damage, shots per burst, burst cooldown. Cool. Pass. Alright, let's check my... So search base computer archives. Interact with the base computer. Is that going to be on my home planet? Teleport back instantly. Yep. We're not going to build a new base. We're going to go back to our main base, but we're going to go up to the space station and probably just go from there. Time to find a bigger multi-tool. It kind of feels that way, Dennis. I'm starting to feel the limitation of my little baby starter multi-tool, and I don't know if I can put more modules on it like I can with my suit and my ship, or if it's just one of those things where I need to find a bigger, better new one. Dr. J says, great advice, much needed. You are welcome. There's no secret, man. It's really just, there's a guy on TikTok who kind of went viral early this year with a song, because he does music, and it was like one of the lyrics to his song is, I just did it. It was hard. Don't ask me how I did it. I just did it. It was hard. And that's kind of how I feel about doing this for a living, which is, don't ask me how I did it. I just did it. It was hard. Like, it's just, you just fucking put the time in is what it comes down to. Just grind. And there's multiple ways you can do it. Like, I have a very, I don't have a persona. So what you see is what you get. Whereas other guys like Asmongold started off having a persona. He's kind of backed away from the persona in recent years, and he's just tried to be himself. Co-Carnage is very much kind of himself. Other guys have like personas they play, and you can do a lot more if you're playing a persona in terms of virality, because you could do stupid shit that you might not be able to get away with if you're just doing realistic streams. But I feel like trying to put on a show every single time that you're live, or you're trying to outdo yourself from the day before, is a lesson in futility, because eventually you're going to become a gimmick, where you're relying on gimmicks to provide cheesy gags for your audience. It's much better to just, whatever's your personality, whatever's your thing. And it could be something like, there's that couple that play World of Warcraft together where they dress up in full costumes, like he's a dwarf, she's a dwarf, and they both have dwarf, like, they put on wigs and eyebrows and beards and everything else, and like, that's their thing. They play World of Warcraft, they focus on World of Warcraft, they play together, they multi-stream together, and they're in costume and in character while they're streaming. That's something very unique, and if you can do that, great. Other people I'll see stream with, like, you know, they have a wizard hat on, and he's like the wizard streamer, or the hermit streamer, or whatever. You know, everybody can have like a thing if you want to have a thing. Otherwise, just be yourself. But there's no secret to it. It's just hours per day. That is the space station for this place. Let's see if we've been there. Yeah, I know I can. I don't want to. I like flying through space. Plus I need to check this space station and see if I've gotten the suit upgrade from here or not. Info Guide said I would add to the comments and say just start, don't get hung up on perfection in the first few months. Yeah, that's another, I think Gary Vee has said this over the years, and I know we used to talk about it in our conferences. Aiming for perfection when you're just getting going is the wrong place to be focusing your energy. Documentation is the most important part of any process, and if you just start off, everyone's going to suck at the beginning. Yeah, I've already done this station. Everyone's gonna suck when you start out. You're gonna have a shitty camera. You're gonna have no clue how to talk to the camera. You're not gonna know how to do video editing. You're gonna learn all that stuff. I always go back to when I first started working online back in 2008. 2007, I was still working construction. Sold my truck, sold my tools, moved abroad, went to Bulgaria, was living there, started writing for a living. I had to learn WordPress, PHP. I had to learn how to make websites. I had to learn how to program the websites. I had to learn all social media from scratch because social media was just becoming a thing at the time. That led me to learning Photoshop for my photo editing. That led me to Lightroom, further photo editing, which led me into videography, which led me to learning how to use things like Filmora and Sony Vegas Pro to do video editing, which led me to all these other things and tools that I've used over the years that I have since, now I'm on to, I use Canva for almost everything, and I don't use Photoshop that much anymore. I still use Lightroom quite a bit, but it's all stuff that you just start off, and you just go. Like, I used to joke because I used to make living as a blogger. I was a full-time blogger for about 10 years, travel blogger in the travel industry. And I spent like 7 years creating content with an old point and shoot. Some of you may know what I'm talking about, but it looked like I don't have anything that would probably represent it at the time, but let's just imagine, here I have an external hard drive. But let's just imagine something that was a little bit bigger than this, but I had an old point and shoot camera. It was literally like probably a 6 megapixel, 12 megapixel, $250 Olympus point and click camera that I bought in like probably 2004, 2005. I used that camera until it died in 2015 when Chris and I were in Spain, and that was like 7 years into working full-time in travel photography and travel blogging, and I was making a living using a shitty little $250 camera before I ever spent the money to go, and then we spent like $5,000 to get a very nice DSLR camera rig set up with lenses and everything else that we wanted, and tripod and sliders and all that other stuff. But I built my entire career off of a little shitty point and click camera with that career. Streaming, I've done everything up until this point. I just upgraded my gear. I just upgraded my laptop in June. I've done everything off of a Rogue Strix laptop with a 1080 in it. Everything I've done over the last, I've had that laptop it's still my stream rig right now. It's the rig that I'm running it's my stream box. I didn't have a capture card until like November of this last year. I used to if I was streaming something from the Xbox or the PlayStation, I would literally just run it through like Xbox Play or PS Play, whatever the apps that they have, and then just capture the window. I would just capture the app within Streamlabs, even though it was shitty 1280 by 720p. It didn't matter. It still was videos that would go out on YouTube, which earned revenue, which earned me money and earned me subscribers. Like, you don't need thousands of dollars of gear to get started. You just need some basic stuff and hours per day. Well, I've already grabbed this space station stuff, so let's head on back to the base. Dr. J says he used to stream all the time but got burned out, slowly getting back into it. What's up, James? EK-Man says you can get 2 exosuit upgrades per system. Yep, one from the station and one from the anomaly. You are absolutely correct. That much I've learned over the last few days of playing. But I've already got the one from that system, so... Okay, we're going off planet again. going to Easelbub. Ooh, I don't have any hyperdrive fuel, so hold that thought. Did I make any before I left? I did not. I don't have enough hyperdrive fuel. I might have to land again to make. I need a warp cell, right? I probably need more than one warp cell. I should land and just make a whole bunch of fuel. Alright, hold that thought. We're going to go back down. Where's my base? There's my base. No, that's my star station. Where the heck is my base at? There we go. If you're tuning in today for the first time, everybody, don't forget I am multi-streaming on YouTube and Twitch, so you can watch live in both places. We usually go live around 11 a.m. Central every single day. The day-to-day stuff happens over on YouTube, so all the game guides, reaction videos, and everything else come out over on the tube. We're also active on all the social medias. There's a Discord and a Patreon if you want to get involved in my stuff as a sci-fi fantasy author. Links to all the stuff is down below. Currently playing a lot of No Man's Sky, but I'm also kicking off today, actually, after I finish this up. So this morning we did the reaction videos this morning before I played No Man's Sky. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos to cut out of there. But then also today I'm starting my Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 single-player campaign playthrough starts today. So those will start to show up on YouTube as Let's Play episodes over the next few days throughout this week, because it's a very short campaign. It's like 6 hours. It's probably 10 or 12 episodes in total. I usually do about 30-minute episodes. Alright, let's see what we need to do this. Also doing Red Dead Redemption 2. My third playthrough, just doing that for fun. Sometimes at nights we'll stream, and then tonight, Monday nights, I play EverQuest 2 with some friends on the Origin server, but that's only a limited time event. We're wrapping up on August 8th, so there's only like 2 or 3 weekends left, and I stream World of Warcraft on Wednesday nights and Saturday nights, 6 p.m. Central Time. Okay, we need... Let me focus on this for a bit, guys. I gotta actually pay attention here. I need warp cells. I need probably about 4 of them. So I need 4 anti-housing antimatters, 4 antimatters, and 4 antimatter housings. Ooh, I'm gonna need chromatic metal and condensed carbon. Let's see what I got in here. I haven't learned what the graphics are for everything yet, so I have to always hover over everything to see if I've got what I need. I'm pretty sure I have my... Did I leave the copper in the refiner? I did not, but we need some more fuel for this.
Technology recharge.
Where did I put my copper? Is it in this ship? No. Where the heck is my... Although... Exosuit. Where the heck did I put my copper? Do I need to harvest some more copper? I might need to. Yeah, gold, sodium nitrate. Yeah, I sure shit don't see any copper. So I must have used it all up the other day.